So let's break down some of the most surprising deleted moments. Okay, so we all remember the abs scene with Abby, Mira and Zoe completely locked in, unable to look away. But what most people don't know is that there was actually a second scene like that, and it never made it into the final cut. In this deleted moment, Jinu and Roomie are in the middle of a heated argument, and right in the middle of all that tension, one of Jinu's shirt buttons suddenly snaps open by accident. Roomie just freezes, goes completely speechless, and even starts blushing. It mirrors the Abby moment, but the timing makes it funnier since it happens during an intense fight instead of a casual scene. That contrast would have made it stand out even more, but for some reason, it ended up getting cut. In the opening of the movie, there's that scene where Huntrix fans are interacting, and one fan shows off a tattoo. Roomie and Zoe aren't really impressed, but Mira is genuinely into it. It's a light, fun little moment, but the original version of that scene was very different. In the original storyboard, the fan doesn't show a tattoo. He lifts his shirt to show a surgery scar because he sold a kidney to afford the concert tickets, and Mira still into it. The joke is the same. Mira's reaction is the same, but the setup is way heavier. You can see why they changed it. The kidney details a lot for an opening scene, but honestly it's also kind of funnier in a dark way. The fact that Mira's reaction doesn't change at all regardless of the context is exactly the joke. This one is a bit more serious. In the original cut of the Huntrix Golden music video, there was a hidden moment that gave more of Zoe's background. It starts looking like a flashback, but then you realize what it actually is. Zoe, back in America, was being bullied. Kids were shoving her into a locker room because of how passionate she was about K-pop. That scene didn't make the final film, but when you think about Zoe's personality throughout the movie, how she's always trying to make everyone happy, how she never wants anyone to feel left out, it reframes all of that. She's not just being nice, she's someone who knows what it feels like to be pushed out, and she's making sure no one around her feels that way. Cutting that scene keeps Zoe lighter on screen, but it also removes a layer that explains a lot about her. Before we get into the next deleted scene, tell me your favorite, comment down below if it's Huntrix, or drop a like if it's the Saja Boys. And if you love both, do both. Right before Huntrix goes up against the Sacha Boys at the International Idol Awards, there was supposed to be a whole getting ready sequence. The track for it was called Gear Up. The scene showed Roomie doing her eyeliner, bold, precise, Mira going through her outfit choices, carefully picking what she was going to wear into the fight, and Zoe painting abs on herself. The director referenced ITZY's weapon as the kind of energy he was going for, that fierce, focused, getting ready feeling. It's the kind of scene that would have landed really well with audiences. Building up to a big moment like that with a preparation sequence gives it more weight, but it got cut and we never got to see it. Character designer Marian Bordes shared details about an early version of the Roomie and Jinu storyline that included a scene the final film didn't have. The two of them walking through an aquarium together. Just the two of them, away from everything. They're sharing milk tea, talking, existing in a quieter space outside of all the chaos happening around them. And the scene was supposed to end in a kiss. It was meant to be a softer, more grounded moment for both characters. The aquarium setting, the milk tea, it's all very low-key compared to the rest of the film. That contrast was intentional. It was the calm version of their relationship before things got complicated. It didn't make the cut, but it would have added a different kind of intimacy to their dynamic. In the movie, the fans signing event is one of the more fun sequences, but that scene almost didn't exist at all. The original concept was a full K-pop Olympic event. Huntrix and the Saja Boys would both participate, competing against each other in some kind of structured event format. The director ended up scrapping it. The concern was that the concept might not land with audiences who weren't already familiar with that kind of format in K-pop culture, so it got replaced with a fan signing scene, which is more universally readable. It's one of those ideas that sounds fun on paper, but maybe would have needed more setup than the film had time for. The next deleted scene is probably the biggest cut in the whole film, and it changes how you understand Selene entirely. According to concept artists and creators who worked on the film, there was a scene where Selene was supposed to kill Roomie's mom. It was cut before the final version, but here's what the story around it was building toward. Roomie's mom broke the rules. She fell in love with the demon. Selene, who is her sister, found out, and whether she felt betrayed or was afraid of what that meant for the Han Moon, or both. she kills her. And then she takes Roomie in. In the version we got, Selene is manipulative and controlling, but this adds something else. She's not just using guilt as a tool. She's the reason Roomie doesn't have a mother in the first place, and Roomie doesn't know that. That's a completely different level of weight for that relationship. The mentorship dynamic, the way Selene shapes Roomie, the guilt, all of it would have hit harder with this scene in the film. It's the kind of thing where you understand why it was cut, because it's dark and it would have needed a lot of space to land properly. But it also would have made Selene one of the more complex antagonists in recent animated films. Here's another deleted scene from Kpop Demon Hunters, revealed by storyboard artist Bridget Underwood. This one features Roomie and Jinu meeting, while the Hanmoon has grown strong enough to keep Jinu trapped on the demon's side. Because of this, Jinu can only appear through the magical veil, almost like a ghost following Roomie while being unable to interact with the world around him. At one point, the two are finally alone, and Roomie shows Jinu her patterns. But the scene gets even more interesting when Roomie eventually leaves and tries to comfort him by putting out food, even though she knows he can't actually touch it. The sequence was ultimately cut because the magical barrier made the scene mechanically complicated without adding enough to the story, but it remains one of the many fascinating deleted ideas from Kpop Demon Hunters. Most fans remember the final battle where Huntrix defeats Guima, Jinu sacrifices himself, and the Rainbow Hanmoon is restored. But according to early concept discussions, Kpop Demon Hunters started out as a much darker and more adult story before being reworked into the version we got. And honestly, some of the movie's visuals still hint at that older idea. During the climax, Guima doesn't just appear as a giant demon, he literally tears open the sky above the city. The red rift spreads across the heavens. Demons pour into the human world, and for a moment it looks like the heroes have already lost. In early development, this invasion was reportedly meant to feel much more devastating and hopeless. Many fans believe the original ending may have been closer to a bittersweet finale where the world wasn't completely saved, or where Jinu's sacrifice carried even heavier consequences. Instead, the final movie chose a more hopeful direction. Jinu still gives up his life to help Roomie defeat Guima, but Huntrix succeeds in creating a new Hanmoon, and the story ends with acceptance, healing, and a brighter future. What's interesting is that the filmmakers later revealed the movie was originally envisioned as a darker, more violent project, before being changed because they saw bigger franchise potential in the world and characters. That means the version we watched could be much lighter than what was first imagined. So while we'll probably never know the exact original ending, those terrifying scenes of Guima breaking into the human world might be the closest glimpse we have of the darker Kpop Demon Hunters that almost existed. So those are the deleted scenes and cut moments from Kpop Demon Hunters. The Selene one is the one I keep coming back to. It just reframes so much of the movie. Let me know in the comments which one surprised you most, and I'll see you in the next one.